Hi, welcome back. I'm Surya. In this video, we will discuss how to describe age groups in line graphs effectively. When describing line graphs, data is often categorized by age groups, income levels, education levels, time periods, and more. Using these categories accurately in sentence structures is important for a clear and effective response. We will focus specifically on age groups as this is something many learners struggle with. Let's get started. Age groups are one of the most common categories in IELTS line graphs. However, many test takers often find it difficult to describe age-related trends clearly without repeating the same phrases. Why is this important? Well, clear sentence construction is directly linked to a higher band score. In this video, we will focus on a sample graph and learn how to write accurate sentences using age group data. Let's dive in. Look at the graph on the slide. It shows the percentage of people from different age groups who enrolled in online courses between 2010 and 2020. We'll start by writing the introduction on the next slide. Let's write the introduction now. Remember, your introduction should simply rephrase the question. You don't need to explain or analyze anything here. Here is one example. The line graph illustrates the proportion of people from 3 age categories who enrolled in online courses at a university between 2010 and 2020. Let's look at how this sentence paraphrases the original question. The changes from the original question are highlighted in different colors for you to notice easily. Instead of saying shows, we used illustrates. Instead of online course enrollment, we used people who enrolled in online courses. We also changed in a university to at a university. Among 3 age groups to from 3 age categories. And from 2010 to 2020 to between 2010 and 2020. These small changes make your writing more formal and varied. Let's focus on the overview for the graph now. Before we write the overview, let's look at the graph carefully to understand the overall trends. If we look at the 36 to 49 and 50 plus age groups, we can see that the trend is quite similar. Both show a clear and steady increase throughout the period. However, the 20 to 35 group follows a different pattern. It rises at first, but then shows a slight decline towards the end. So, based on this observation, we can now start the overview this way. Overall, the percentage of enrollment among middle-aged adults grew steadily and eventually overtook that of young adults. Now, we can write about the other 2 groups together by using a connector. Older adults also showed an upward trend over the years, while those aged 20 to 35 experienced a moderate climb, followed by a slight drop after reaching their peak. This overview highlights the most important trends in a clear and logical way. Let's put both sentences in a paragraph on the next slide. So here is the overview. Now let's move on to the body paragraphs. Before we start writing the body paragraphs, let's take another close look at the graph. Ask yourself, which age group shows similar trends? Which ones stand out as different? You will notice that the 36 to 49 and 50 plus age groups show a clear upward trend. Their enrollment increased steadily throughout the period. These 2 can be grouped together in one body paragraph. On the other hand, the 20 to 35 age group shows a different pattern. It rises at first, but then slightly declines in the final years. Because of this difference, it's better to describe this group separately in the second body paragraph. So let's start writing the body paragraph 1. To write body paragraphs, first, we begin by stating the trend in the first year of the given time period. We can write it this way. To begin with, in 2010, the enrollment for people aged 36 to 49 was 20%. Then, we look at how this number changed over time. Since there was a gradual increase in the enrollment, we can describe the trend in this way. However, this group rose consistently and became the highest by the end of the period, reaching around 55%. Now let's describe the second age group in this paragraph, the 50+ group. Again, we start from the first year. Similarly, the enrollment for those aged 50 and above started at 10% in 2010 and increased considerably, ending at 40% by 2020. So, in body paragraph 1, we have grouped two similar trends and described them clearly using varied vocabulary to avoid repetition. Now let's see the complete first body paragraph. Here is the complete first body paragraph. Pause the video here and read it at one go to understand how it's written. Now let's see how we can write the second body paragraph. Now let's move on to body paragraph 2, where we describe the 20 to 35 age groups separately since its trend is different from the other two groups. We begin by stating the starting figure. In contrast, the 20 to 35 age group followed a different trend. The enrollment for this group stood at 30% in 2010, which was the highest among all three groups at that point. Then we describe the upward trend. It then went up gradually to a peak of 46% in 2017 and remained stable until 2018. After the peak, we highlight the decline. Nevertheless, there was a marginal decline in the figure to 44% by the end of the period. Now let's see how the second body paragraph looks. Here is the complete second body paragraph. Pause the video here and read the description at one go to get a clear sense of its structure. Now let's have a look at the complete description of the graph. Here is the complete description of the graph. Pause here and read the description to understand how each paragraph is written. Now that you have read the full model description, take a moment to look closely at the expressions used to refer to different age groups. We didn't repeat the same phrases like 20 to 35 age group or 36 to 49 age group again and again. Instead, we used a variety of expressions throughout the paragraph. Can you spot them? Try to identify all the different ways age groups are mentioned in this description. In a moment, I will highlight them for you. I hope you have already identified the age group expressions used in the description. Let's now take a closer look at the different expressions used to refer to each age group in the description. To help you notice them more clearly, I have highlighted the expressions using three different colors. Yellow represents the expressions used for middle-aged adults, 36 to 49 age group. Green highlights the phrases referring to young adults, 20 to 35 age group. And turquoise is used for expressions referring to older adults or those aged 50 and above. As you can see, instead of repeating the same kind of phrases for age groups, we have used a range of expressions to make the writing more fluent and natural. This kind of variation is important in IELTS Writing Task 1, especially when it comes to demonstrating lexical resource. Let's now take a final look at the different expressions you can use to refer to age groups in your writing. This table shows two columns. The first one includes the expressions we already used in our model description. And the second column provides other useful alternatives that you can also use in your own writing. For example, instead of always saying the 20 to 35 age group, you could say people aged 20 to 35, those in the 20 to 35 age group, or people between 20 and 35. All of these are acceptable and natural expressions in IELTS Writing Task 1. Similarly, you can vary your references to other groups like middle-aged adults or older adults using alternatives such as those in the 36 to 49 age group, the 36 to 49 age group, or the 50-plus age group, depending on the context. Using a variety of expressions not only helps avoid repetition, but also shows the examiner that you have a strong lexical range, which is one of the criteria for a higher band score. Just remember, choose the expression that fits the sentence naturally and always keep your writing clear and formal. Now it's your turn to try writing a description. Here is a new line graph question. This time, the graph shows population distribution by different age groups from 1990 to 2020. Just like we did earlier, start by writing a clear introduction and overview. Then group the age categories logically in your body paragraphs and try to use a range of expressions when referring to each group. Remember, avoid repeating the same phrases and aim for variety in your sentence structures and vocabulary. Take a few minutes to plan your writing and try to use some of the alternative expressions you have just learned. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you understand how to describe age groups effectively in line graphs. Keep practicing. See you in the next video.